How's it going, guys? You guys ready for some football tonight? I am. So, I wanted to get on here to preview the game for Kentucky versus South Carolina. I believe it starts around 6:30. Now, depending on what time zone you're in, you may want to check your local listings. It's going to be on the SEC Network, or it's going to be on the Watch ESPN app. I believe you can watch it on there. Also, it's Kentucky versus South Carolina. Now, Kentucky's going for their fourth straight win against South Carolina if they can pull off, some people would say an upset because South Carolina's actually been playing better. They're both 2-0, but some people believe that South Carolina's been playing better since they started the season versus Kentucky's had some mediocre, somewhat okay, mediocre opponents and have struggled at some parts in the game, but yet later to win by 10 or to get the victory. So far, Vegas I think had Kentucky as the underdog. Obviously, it's in South Carolina and at Williams-Brice Stadium, and Kentucky, according to Vegas, would be like a 4.5. Now, I haven't looked at the line recently within the last couple hours, so I don't know if it changed. I think it was earlier this morning I looked at that. But if you go to ESPN.com, right, they have Kentucky as a 6-point underdog. So South Carolina favored by 6 points. So, also ESPN has their predictive prediction meter, giving the prediction to South Carolina 82% chance to win versus Kentucky's only 18%. Those are all just predictions, opinions, based on a mathematical formula, I would say, with their computer model. But the rest of it, that's just people's opinion. Vegas and all that kind of stuff. Because the betting public has a, some type of effective degree on it because they start placing bets. It affects the odds and the amount of points and all that kind of stuff. But at first, I think it's all, some of them use computer-generated models to help them come up with the initial line at first and stuff like that. So the question is, who do you put most of your stock in today for Kentucky or South Carolina? Is it South Carolina with Jake Bentley, their sophomore quarterback? Is it Johnson, the senior quarterback for Kentucky? Does he do so bad or something? And then Drew Barker gets in the game. I think both Bentley and Johnson are at 61%. I got it written down. Yeah, 61% passing completion percentage. I think Bentley's thrown 1 interception, Johnson none, but Bentley's also thrown 4 touchdowns on the year versus Johnson only's thrown 2. Now, I think Johnson's ran in 1 or 2 itself. So, yeah. So that you could take that as a grain of salt. If Kentucky's offensive line holds up, Johnson should hold on to the ball good, shouldn't turn it over. As you can see, he hasn't had any interceptions this year. And he might have had a fumble, though, but he hasn't had any interceptions. And so maybe Johnson and Bentley play around the same level. So you don't know what you're actually going to get in that situation. I don't think you can put it on, well, it's got to be Johnson this or Bentley this. Now, if you go to defenses, I think last time I checked, points allowed, I think South Carolina has allowed more points. I don't know, though, if you can put this on a defense. It might be the running game. I think South Carolina may have the one of the better backs. I think like Bobo or something. I don't know. I think that's his name. I might be getting confused with someone else on their roster. I'm not 100% sure on South Carolina completely. I do know Benny Snell, and King for Kentucky and all that. And the running backs have got to play, really well today to try to hold up some clock management for both teams. But the offensive line for Kentucky's got to be there too. Lynn Bolden, he put out some tweets and stuff like that. Kind of disappointed with his production on the team. He thought, the direction of not using him, stuff like that. He's a freshman wide receiver. the second game he was in, he got hit with a penalty at the very beginning of the game. I think it was on special teams somewhere in the game early for targeting, and he got ejected, so he didn't even get to play. I think the first game against Southern Miss, he didn't get what he wanted to get, and so that's kind of where the tweets came from. In the second game, he didn't even get an opportunity. So a lot of people are saying this is his breakout game. We can't rely on a freshman wide receiver to win this game. I know he was at one point in time a top 100 player, best player in Ohio or something like that, one of the top 60 players in Ohio or something, and a 4-star. But the point of it is this: it's not one person that's going to win this game. It's going to be a group effort. To beat someone 4 in a row, especially in the SEC, is very, very hard to do. Can Kentucky do it? Yes. Do I think it will happen? I'm going to say yes because I'm a Kentucky fan. If we win this, we win by 3 or 4 points. Maybe we're up 1, and we march down the field, get stalled, kick a field goal up 4, and we hold them and they don't score again, and we end up winning by 4. Or maybe we're tied and we march down the field, kick a field goal and win the game and walk away. So I think that's how we win the game. So I do believe we win the game today. But still not 100% sure. As always, there's always second guessing and wondering where we're going to go and how good are we actually, and is Steven Johnson, even though he's won these games. Guys, he's won games. It's not that Johnson hasn't won games, but we have to remember it wasn't just Johnson winning these games. I'm not saying that I've been in the past been a critic of Johnson. Like, he's not a bad quarterback, but the point of it is I don't think he's a great quarterback, or I don't think he's good enough sometimes. But he's proven everybody wrong by hanging in there, not throwing an interception, and winning the football game. And helping out the team. So, good for him. I just wish Drew Barker would get his shot back, because Barker's only got this year and next year, and then he's gone. And we wasted a 4-star player. Now, if Barker ended up 3-star or something, I apologize if I got his stars mixed up. But I think Barker was 4. And we're wasting his talent. I mean, some people say, well, if he had so much talent, he'd be out on the field. Not necessarily. If you're winning games with Johnson, you're going to keep that hot hand rolling until he starts losing you games. Now, these are the games that we're going to find out if Johnson's actually supposed to be our quarterback. Because now he's going to hit this SEC play, and it's going to be this year, and it's going to be all on him. It's not going to be, well, here's the keys to the car because someone got injured. If you do okay, you do okay. It's not that was stress, but it wasn't that much stress. We already lost some games. Barker was hurt. The SEC play was coming. And if he would have did terrible, it would have been like, hey, look what I got handed to me. But he did good, so everybody now is going to go, okay, that's not the same situation. So now you have to almost duplicate what you did last year, but almost to even a higher level, because we want to get beyond the bowl game we were at last year and actually win the bowl game this time. So, I don't know. So, overall, my final prediction for South Carolina versus Kentucky tonight is Kentucky will win by 3 or 4 points. So if I were you, I would take Kentucky with the 6 points tonight. If you're a betting man, give Kentucky, the underdog, Kentucky 6 points, and bet it. I think you'll be happy with the outcome. So, because even if something happened, they lose by 6, it'd be a push, and maybe South Carolina's a close game, and Carolina kicks a field goal, win the game. Still, you win your money if you take the 6 points. So, yeah. Kentucky by 3 or 4. If and only if we lose the next 2 games, and I don't want to, but I'm saying this right now. If we lose the next 2 games, Drew Barker should be the starter of the Kentucky Wildcats after that. But I don't want that to happen, but I'm just saying that's my opinion, if that would happen. Otherwise, let's beat South Carolina tonight, Kentucky by 3 or 4. In the comment section below, if you're a South Carolina fan, Kentucky fan, tell me what you think is going to happen. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, because we do food reviews on here. We do political things sometimes, just talk about that. We talk about sports. I do a weekly sports show sometimes. Now I'm doing a fantasy sports show. I come on here and preview some games of the teams I like Yankees, Kentucky, Kansas City, the Pistons, stuff like that. I already said the food reviews. So it's kind of a variety channel. You don't necessarily know what you're getting. So, but anyways, guys, I'm ready for the game. Probably within an hour and a half or so. So I'm ready for the game. I can't wait. Don't forget to hit that like button also. Share the video. Really appreciate it. Go Big Blue Nation. Let's go Kentucky. Let's try to get a victory. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'll be back again with another video. Till then, have a good game tonight, fans. Good luck to both teams. Hopefully no one gets hurt. And everybody's able to walk away and shake hands and good sportsmanship. Alright, guys.